Good morning, guys. Today is Saturday. It's April 30th. It's a beautiful Saturday morning. So the plan today, as I mentioned in a previous vlog, that my father was on the panel and he was an artist. He's a photographer. My mother is also an artist, and they're in a show together right now, and I had missed the opening for the show. I was in South Africa for work. Today's the closing of the show. So we're gonna go to the Garibaldi Mayuchi Museum. Try saying that 3 times. I kept messing up the name before. Garibaldi Mayuchi Museum to check out the show. But today's a gorgeous day and there's some beautiful cloud cover. So I'm thinking there may be a good opportunity to get some time-lapse shots before I head to the museum. But we'll take you guys for the ride and see what we can get. So this cloud cover was a little bit deceiving because there's rings and rings of clouds miles and miles away, and then above is only sky. Above us is only sky. There's not a cloud in sight. So I don't think I'm gonna be getting any time-lapse shots today. My wide-angle lens can't pick up on something that far away. It's just gonna be there's not gonna be any movement basically. But it's still a nice day out, so we're gonna head to the museum now. Actually, I got to stop home first, pick up some champagne, and then head to the museum. So we'll see what it looks like when we get there. Alright, so we're stopping home quick, gonna pick up the champagne, and then gonna head over to the museum. I've been to this museum once before, and it was a very long time ago. It's a house, similar to the last vlog. It was also a historical house. Now, I'm not entirely sure who Garibaldi was, but I can definitely look that up. I think he was an artist. I always found it interesting that during like art events, like art openings and things like that, they drink wine, you know, as the classy drink, but then they drink it out of a plastic cup. So I think it kind of defeats the purpose. You know, you go to an art show to feel civilized and professional and really in tune with yourself, and then you're drinking red wine out of a plastic solo cup. I just thought it was kind of interesting. So we just got to the museum, and it's much smaller than I remember. It really is just a house. But I found out that Garibaldi Mayuchi, 2 separate people. So you have Giuseppe Garibaldi, who was an Italian diplomat and politician, and you have Antonio Meucci, who was a candle maker and also an inventor, one of the first influential inventors for what would become the telephone. So this is the house they both lived in together. I don't think at the same time, but this is the house they both lived in. So this is the room with my parents' artwork in it. On the right wall is my father's artwork. On the back wall is my mother's. And I'll turn this around. I'll probably do a voiceover of what you're actually seeing because the microphone's a shotgun mic. So I have to be this way for the mic to work. Whole big story. I'll probably do a voiceover and you'll see what the artwork looks like. It's pretty cool. Check it out. So excuse the fancy schmancy appearance, just got back from a baptism, but I wanted to make this quick clip to go over some of the images you're going to be seeing in the next clip. So my father took these images in what's called infrared photography. So infrared is a spectrum of light that's just on the cusp of what the naked eye can't see. So what you're seeing in these images is infrared light, which of course we can't see with our naked eye, so it really gives an interesting perspective on the natural world, because this is light that we literally can't see with our own eyes, but the camera can pick up on it. Now most cameras, like the one I'm filming on now, the EOS 7D, the Canon 7D, have an infrared filter in them to block out infrared light, because in most photography you don't want the infrared. But my father did a modification to remove the infrared blocking filter, so now the camera only lets in infrared light, and what you'll notice with infrared photography is you'll notice the sky is very dark, trees and the ground and plants become very white, and if you look at Google infrared photography, you'll see it makes the skin very milky, and veins that are almost, like, you know, on the surface, they really get pronounced. You can see them and almost give this kind of vampire look. It's pretty wild. Google infrared photography, because the images you're going to see on the computer aren't going to be very clear, or on the blog are not going to be very clear because there's a glare. But Google infrared photography and you can see some of what infrared can do from a one-on-one perspective. It's pretty neat. Now for my mother's photography, these are photographs. They don't look like photographs, but they are photographs. They, to me, emulate more of oil paintings, and that's kind of the idea here, is the vibrancy is very high, the saturation is very high, and the contrast is very high, and it gives this illusion of being a painting rather than a photograph, and they're all of flowers, and I think they're absolutely gorgeous. So let's go check these out before I ramble anymore, and let's see what we're working with. I'm not sure what's upstairs, but we'll find out. We're not supposed to be up here. Not supposed to be up there. Those are like offices. So it looks like Antonio Meucci got a statue in his name, and the arrangement must have been that he got the statue and then Giuseppe Garibaldi got the house named after him, or have a plaque on the house. I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather have the statue.